Hi everybody, Robbie Gravely here with Van Brannon. A victorious Dooley Field as the Jackets knock off the Byrnes Rebels tonight by the score of 18-10.
Rob, what a big night here at Dooley Field, in the rain on a Thursday night. First time in 16 meetings between the Rebels, the Jackets finally got over the hump and defeated the Rebels.
Yeah, they got on the board first, showed that it was going to be a four-quarter game. Mikey Williams, a 72-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Caden Rowland. The Jackets went up 6-0 after their first drive of the game. Byrnes came back, got an 84-yard punt return. The extra point gave them the lead. In spite of dominating the first half, the Jackets go to the locker room down 1, but they were getting the football back.
Yeah, and with the halftime stats were somewhere around 200 and something to like 78. They were minus rushing in the first half, the Rebels were. So the Greer defense really came to play tonight and did a super job getting that lead going into halftime.
Yeah,
trailing going into halftime.
Yeah, the Rebels actually extended the Jackets scored to go up 12-7 starting the third quarter, and then Byrnes drove it down the field. Greer held them to a field goal, so still leading 12-10 going into the fourth quarter.
And that was big because the Jackets had an opportunity there late in the first half to get points on the board. We had the interception that kind of stalled the drive, but then huge to start that third quarter. We get the kickoff out of bounds, get it 35, and drive it all the way down. That was a big play. A big touchdown drive to start the third quarter.
Yeah, Nick Holmes ran it in to put the Jackets ahead. And then in the fourth quarter, the Jacket defense made several big stops. Greer put together a drive. Caden Rowland ran it in from 4 yards out with 1:52 to play, gave the Jackets an 18-10 lead. They missed the extra point that would have clinched the game, basically. Byrnes started at their own 48-yard line, had plenty of time to move it down, and that Greer defensive front backed the Rebels up 26 yards. Instead of giving ground for a game-tying touchdown, they backed them up 26 yards.
Yeah, it was back-to-back sacks, and they've been doing that all night. They pretty much dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides, and Rob, to me, that was the difference in this football game, was the way the defensive line played and how that offensive line played, and it turned out to be a great night for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Coach Young said you can win a lot of football games if you play defense like that.
Absolutely, and they were able to close it out, but huge drive there at the end to really kind of put the staple on it and go up by 8, and then, like you said, it was back-to-back, and they were not going to let this Rebel team come back and win. So huge night for the Jackets.
Sims and Carr, players of the game tonight. Jalen Vereen, Lewis Bussey on defense. We just went with the whole offensive line on offense, over 200 yards rushing against this Rebel defense.
Yeah, we debated back and forth, and there were so many guys. Drew Hansen, who had been on offense, moved him over tonight, and he was all over the place. Other guys, that, like we mentioned, the defensive line, those guys, we could just sit here and name everybody. I think everybody tonight that played their best football game of the year, and that's why the Jackets came away victorious.
Next week, the Jackets will be on the road for the first time in a month. They'll be at Berea as region play starts. And, Van, we always say every year the region's what gets you in the playoffs, so a big stretch of games coming up for the Jackets.
And perfect timing for the Yellow Jackets. They played a lot better last week but didn't get the win. Come back home tonight, get the win. They couldn't be going on a better trajectory going into region play.
So we'll have it for you 6 o'clock with the Greer Flooring Center Yellow Jacket tailgate show, 7:30 kickoff. We'd love to see you at Berea over there to just cheer on those Jackets for their great work tonight. The Jackets win at 18-10. We'll talk to you next week on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network.